can't see it.
Mm-hmm. What's up, everyone? This is Henry and Susan. Today we are here on a Monday. Uh, Another week has gone by. We're getting ready for summer. Summer months starting to pick up now for a lot of you guys. It is you can tell the weather's changing, and we are getting more and more calls, more people calling. We're booking more calls, and so we want to talk about today. I really want to talk about prices. What people are charging. This is an ongoing thing to where um, you know people are getting into this industry, and I just want the new people to know that when they come in, expect this industry to be a certain way. Um, there's a lot of guys out here that undercut a lot of people. This is a cutthroat industry. Okay, I'm gonna simplify it the best way I know how. Is everybody's out for themselves? Everybody's out to do their thing, and we see that. We see that in prices. People that we have taught, people that we have shown, they undercut us all the time. And we know that they're running their business. We know that they're doing their own thing, but in reality, it's hurting the industry because customers now, they are calling around, checking the cheapest price, and they don't really care about quality. Um, that's obvious because there's a lot of people that have been charging way less than what we charge, for example, and we hear it, we see it. We get, customers call us, get quotes, and then they say, oh, we'll call somebody else to get a price, and then they get a cheaper price. It happens. That's just something that you gotta be aware of in this industry. But you got to remember, us, we've been in the industry for almost 6 years. We have a lot of 5-star reviews. That's all we have is 5-star reviews. We do really, really well. There's other companies that have double what we have. So, there's companies out here that are undercutting people. I mean,
By
it's
a lot.
it's sad. It's
And we can't go as low as what those people are quoting because
no, it's not that we can't. We won't.
oh yeah, we won't. Okay, yeah,
Okay,
we won't go as low because then we're not making any money, and then that's pretty much telling us that that's what we're worth, and we're not worth that little.
exactly. It's funny because when you're putting in thousands of dollars each day to your bank account and you see that, and then during the off season, you're putting hundreds into the account during the off season, but you're still busy. Um, that's a good thing, and that's what people need to recognize, especially solar panel cleaners, is you're not doing work for hundreds of dollars. You're doing work for thousands of dollars. You're going out there and try to deposit thousands of dollars every single day in your account if you can, because this is a young and growing industry. Okay. It's fast cash. And let me tell you, you can make some fast bank in this industry. But you got to remember, if you go out and you purchase equipment and that equipment costs you lots of money, you have to charge quite a bit. You can't sit there and charge peanuts because um, people will disagree with me, especially on this topic, because there's guys out here that will undercut you by half, and they're booked and they got lots of jobs, right? They're sitting there go, oh, we got lots of jobs, we got 5 jobs, 10 jobs, in a day, but we're only charging them $50 a job or $75 a job or $100 a job, because that's what it's coming down to. Um, we see it in the advertising. We see it with people advertising on Facebook. They're advertising on social media. They're advertising on these platforms, and they're saying, "Hey, we'll clean your solar panels for $30 or $2 per panel." And it's when we got into this industry, we didn't charge those prices. We were actually way up here on prices, and we were able to grow extremely fast. Even now, we still don't lower our prices to some of the prices that a lot of you guys are charging.
What those new people or people that just started their business and if they're charging low, what happens is you're going to come into a situation where customers are going to be expecting that every single time.
Mm-hmm.
And you got to think about, okay, do I want to give it? I mean, you're pretty much kind of stuck with giving that price, the same one that you charge them,
Mm-hmm.
if you want to keep them. Or you might tell them, you know what, I'm sorry, I got to raise my price. I can't go that low anymore. So you're kind of hurting yourself if you start off low, like Henry says, start off high. That way you kind of got wiggle room to go a little bit lower with the customer.
What the customers don't even think about is prices are going up. Prices are skyrocketing for a lot of equipment, a lot of deionized tanks, the resin, filters, your gas. And it's funny because today I was passing through a gas station, and they lowered the price on the gas to $5.59. $5.59. I remember 2 months ago, the price was $4.10. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
I went to the Chevron just around the corner, and they lowered it from $5.70 a gallon to $5.50 a gallon. Oh, it went down 20 cents. But you're paying $5.50 per gallon now. And a lot of you guys have the gas engines. A lot of you guys have, where you got to put gas in that thing. And not only that, it's just, your vehicle, you got to travel from point A to point B. Sometimes we travel 50, 60, 70 miles to do jobs. Sometimes we are local and right around the corner. It just depends who's calling and who wants the service and who wants to get it done. Now, keep in mind, and this is where this video right here, I really want to stress to you people that are brand new here, that have your own solar panel cleaning business. Keep in mind, I've been through summers where it's 115, 116 degrees, and we have to get up super early in the morning, like 5:30 in the morning, just to get started. And some of you guys out here have these little water-fed poles that you're using, so you're up or on top of the roof for a long time. When it gets hot and when it gets over 100 degrees, you guys are going to wish you charged a lot more than what you are charging now, because it's going to get very tiring for you guys very quickly, and you're going to get burnt out. I hear it from our employees. Even our employees, we have to tell them, hey, get up in the morning, get up early, and get out there and just tackle the 5 jobs, the 6 jobs that you have today. Because a lot of times during the summertime, a lot of customers don't want you cleaning their solar panels at 1 o'clock in the afternoon or lunchtime
Mm.
because it's too hot.
Mhm.
When the hottest part of the day is around 2:30, 3 o'clock anyway. Um, and so, they're out there and they're like, hey, can you do it for, we'll say $100? Can you do it for $100 when you're charging them a lot more? It's like, no, we can't do that. And we can't do that to our employees. We're just burning them out, we're paying them, and then they go out there and they'll do the work, and we still got to pay for them for their and I'm pretty generous. I buy lunches for them a lot. I buy we go out there and we'll be out there with them, and this is during the summer. Now, we don't have employees all year round, unfortunately. Like everybody else, we have to lay them off because it starts to get slow at a certain period of time. And that's what a lot of you guys don't realize when you get into this business is this is going to slow down. Our money.
I just took the personal car to get a car wash, and the price went up on a basic car wash. But I'm not negotiating with the person washing my car because, you know, it is what it is. The price they have is what you pay for, and so, you know, a lot of customers try to negotiate our services. So,
Mhm.
and I always tell them, well, do you negotiate on this? Do you negotiate on that?
You go to McDonald's, do you negotiate on your food? And see, a lot of people are cheap. They're going to get cheap. They're going to be cheap. They're going to try to be as cheap as possible. And they're going to Jew you down to so low to where you're going to go, okay, I'll do it. Oh, okay, sure. And then the next time, they're gonna expect you to do it for the same price. And this is what we're talking about, because customers are going to try to find the cheapest price. We did some we gave some quotes out for some bird proofing, and we gave it out so low that we weren't going to do it anyway. We just gave them a very, very low price, so low that we said, nope, we're going to just offer this price. We offered them a very low price, and they still didn't go for it. They're like, okay, thank you. And they're going to go check around. And then to my, well, the reason why we gave them a low price is because we know if they check around, other people are going to give them a much higher price because that's what it's worth. It's worth a lot higher. You don't go out and try to do it so low, because especially bird proofing, there are a lot of things that can go wrong in bird proofing, and a lot of you guys don't get it. A lot of you guys don't realize it. If you're out there and you're cleaning bird feces, you can get very sick from inhaling all this crap that you're picking up. Should you be wearing a mask? Absolutely. Should you be wearing protective gear? Absolutely. We always say, look, try to protect yourselves the best you can. When it gets hot and you go out and you're, spraying down the roof and cleaning this stuff off, just the smell itself is going to get you sick. You will get a headache, you will get nauseated, you will get sick, and before you know it, is it really worth the money that you charge? This is why we charge a lot of money, because we know the consequences. A lot of you new guys don't. All you see is the dollar signs, and that's it. That's all you see. So, you know, is it worth it? Is it worth it for you to get sick, get in the hospital, come out with a disease, what have you? You have to really think about that. There's a lot of guys out here now that are doing bird proofing and don't know what the hell they're doing or what they're getting into. And we always tell the customer, look, if you want this price, we're not your company. And sometimes it's okay to say that.
We've said that a few times.
We've said that many times.
I've even gone as far as telling the customer, well, they've asked me, well, why are you, I've told them the price low, and I tell them, okay, well, this is what we're going to do. They said, well, aren't you going to clean under the panels? No, because this is how much you want to pay.
Yeah.
This is what you're going to get. You're going to get the cheapest material. We're not going to clean under the panels. Just going to put
You're going to
the mesh.
get what you pay for. Okay. If you want to get it for $200 and you want to pay $200 for bird proofing, and we're not the only company. Trust me, nobody's making money off a $200 bird proofing. They're fooling themselves big time. So, if you're in, we're much higher than that because we already know. We put the best stuff in there. We clean out. We clean out from underneath those solar panels. There's guys out here that just spray underneath. They don't even remove the solar panels or lift up the solar panels and take all the bird nests out that's in between the rails and all that. We do that. So that's extra. That takes a lot more. But there's guys out here and you see them on Instagram, you see them on TikTok, and they're just spraying underneath. That's all they're doing. But they're not really actually taking the panel or lifting the panel up or going out there and cleaning to where it really needs to be cleaned. Because a lot of people don't know that if you don't clean the bird feces off from underneath those solar panels, those pigeons aren't going anywhere. They're going to go back, try to look for their babies. They're going to be frantic. They're going to continue to go around no matter what you do. If you don't clean it out and it doesn't look like it's, clean, those pigeons will never leave your roof. They may get tired after a while and say, okay, after a month or so, but there are people out there that have called us and said, I just had bird proofing done. They didn't put the right material in. We got that today, didn't we? Mm-hmm. Where I guess they didn't put, it was an S-tile and they didn't put S-tile down. If people don't know what S-tile is, it's the shape of the roof. And it's a mesh that you can put in there that's shaped like an S, and you put it right in, fits perfectly. There's guys out here that do cutouts that would just cut each section out. Sometimes they don't do a good job. Sometimes they do. Who knows? I can't speak for anybody else, but what I can tell you is they don't do there's material out there specifically made for that. And if they're not doing that and doing shortcuts because they don't want to go and buy the right equipment or the right material, then they're not doing you guys any favors. Those pigeons are very smart. Pigeons are one of the birds that can compress their body pretty small and get into a small little space if you leave it open. And those birds are really the only birds out there that can do that. And so you have to make sure everything is high and tight, just out there, and where these pigeons are not going to get in, or no other birds are going to get in that are smaller and get underneath those panels and nest under there and make a lot of noise. And before you know it, they're out there making their families, right underneath your panels. And if you have a installer who didn't do a great job, and all of a sudden you got leaks underneath your roof because the bird pee is seeping through the walls, and we've had that where customers have said, we got this that's coming in, it smells really bad, and it was all the urine from the pigeons that were seeping through and destroying the wires and destroying everything else and inside the house. And they literally had to take all the panels off, redo the roof, and go out there and put them right back on and what have you. We see it many, many times. And if you guys think about doing shortcuts, you're going to get away with it for a short period of time, but eventually the customer will figure it out and find out down the road. And if you as a customer want to go cheap, you get what you pay for. I cannot stress that enough. Being in this industry, being in this business, I've seen it all. And I'm telling you right now, If you are a customer and you decide that you want to go cheap, that's your own fault for not doing your homework, for not going out there and figuring out what really needs to be done. Is plenty of videos out there. We have over 700 videos just on this YouTube channel. We talk about bird proofing, we talk about solar panel cleaning, the right way to do it, and so forth. You know, Susan gets a lot of calls from people that need their roofs, need solar panels taken off, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Explain to them.
I get a lot of customers that say they're having roof repair. They need their solar panels removed and put back on, or maybe sometimes it's just one or two panels. Sometimes it's the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
So because the person that installed their solar panels, you know, however they were screwing in the frame and everything, for some reason it made a hole.
They didn't put sealant on it. They
Yeah.
didn't do that. So all of a sudden it's leaking, or you know, they just didn't do it correctly. The installers. Well, you got to remember, installers are going to come in, they're going to do their job, and they're out. They'll never see you again unless there's a problem or a company sends them back. Other than that, they're going from one house to another house to another house to another house. And so you know, once they put that on, they're done and they're gone. As solar panel cleaners, we go out there and we clean solar panels, and we may clean them every 6 months for you. We may clean them every 3 months for you, but we have repeat customers every single time. And we try to help out our repeat customers. We really do. Even our new customers that come in, we treat them like they're repeat customers. And you know, summer's coming. It's going to be extremely hot. I'm telling you guys right now, I already see it. It is going to be a hot summer, especially here in Los Angeles. I'm not a weatherman, but I've been pretty dead on, pretty right. I said it was going to rain a lot, and it did. It rained a lot in Northern California, Central California. It rained quite a bit here in LA. And summertime, you can see the weather, you can see how it's changing, and it's already getting hot now. We hit a couple of days where we hit 80, 85 degrees already in April in springtime, which it normally is much cooler than that. But be prepared. I'm telling you, be prepared, especially you guys that are charging really, really cheap. You better raise your prices, because if not, you will be out of business by November. And when I say that, I mean it, because the phone calls will stop. As soon as it starts to cool down, the customers, they tend not to call you because they're not educated. They don't know that solar panels need to be cleaned all year around. And if they knew that, and they knew that they can get better production by cleaning these solar panels all year around, then they would know that they have to have these things cleaned. We have customers that we just picked up, and they're getting their first cleaning in 10 years. 10 years. So, you know, they're wondering why their production is bad, or why they have a bill from their electric company. And they're wondering, you know, what did we do different? You guys didn't do anything different other than not clean your solar panels. And this is where we come in and we educate you. Whether you're a customer or a solar panel cleaner, you know, the solar panel cleaning channel, we've been on for 6 years, and, you know, we've been educating people. Mm-hmm. And Susan does an excellent job when she talks to customers when she gets phone calls, you know. So she does that. Sorry for the background noise, guys, but got somebody backing up over here. But
plus the cats like to be out on the balcony.
Yeah, we have a nice balcony that the cats love to enjoy. Martin Castro. Good evening, Henry and Susan. Martin with Arizona Solar Clean LLC from Tucson, Arizona. Hello there, Martin. How you doing? If you guys have any questions, feel free to put it in chat. We will try to read your comments and what have you. Did you have something you wanted to say? I thought I cut you off, so I wasn't sure.
No, I just brought up a point to a customer's. You know, he was asking, well, why do the panels need to be cleaned? And I said, well, when you look at your car and it's just sitting there, what is it doing? Well, it's collecting dirt. I said, yeah, and if you keep letting it sit there and collect dirt, what happens? It gets more dirty.
Right.
Well, that's the same thing as your panels because the panels are glass. So the more dirt that piles up, the worse they're going to get.
You have to remember, and you look at it in the perspective of how solar panels work. Okay, they have individual cells, and those cells, if they're dirty, the light doesn't come in like it should. So if your solar panels are dirty, you're going to get less production as opposed to them being super clean. So when you get your solar panels installed, and a lot of people, they don't think about this, right? They get them installed, and then they got to sit there and wait months for them to be activated. Well, guess what's happening to the solar panels? The solar panels are doing what they should be doing. They're working, but they're just sitting there and they haven't been cleaned. And those 3 months or 2 months or 3 months, people go, oh, this is our first day of getting solar panels. And then all of a sudden they're like looking at their production and they're going, okay, we're going to wait for it to go up a little higher. And it doesn't. And gradually it starts to go lower and lower and lower. And each day it gets lower and lower and lower. Well, when we clean them, sometimes the production shoots way up past the first point of when they actually got them installed, because they weren't sitting there for 2 months or 3 months to get activated. And they weren't clean. They just sat there and got dirty, and that was it. So when we go out there and we clean the solar panels and they're like super clean, brand new like they should be, all of a sudden customers are surprised and they're like, wow, I should have done this right when I got them installed. Right, you should have, but a lot of times the installers won't tell you. A lot of times, if you are purchasing solar panels, that would be the first question that you should ask. Do my solar panels need to be maintained? And if they turn around and say, nope, the rain will clean it. The rain will get rid of all that stuff. I don't know how many solar panels that we have cleaned this year, and we've cleaned thousands, to where that statement is far from the truth. Okay? Because we have literally made videos right after it rains and showed you guys how dirty these solar panels right after it rains. We even clean solar panels during the rain. I think that's the best time to do it, is right when it's raining, and we clean them. They're and just beautiful. They look great. And with the deionized water that we use, just beads right off, and it's super clean. And a lot of customers are like worried. They're like, oh, okay, is it going to rain? Well, that's fine. Let it rain. That's okay. It'll just bead right off. And before you know it, your solar panels are going to do its job. One of the misconceptions of solar panels, and there's people out here that are on YouTube, on Instagram, and they show that they're cleaning these solar panels with squeegees. Okay, they're just going across and cleaning the solar panels. And that is one of the worst mistakes anybody can make, because all you're doing is scratching the glass. That's all you're doing. When you clean solar panels with the squeegee, you are literally destroying these people's solar panels. Let me tell you, and hopefully this makes sense to you. Solar panels, when they get clean, what are they supposed to do?
Produce.
Produce. As they produce, they get hot. What happens to the water when it gets hot?
It dries up.
Sometimes I could be cleaning the solar panels and I'll start from the top. And before I hit the bottom of these solar panels, I'm talking, 3 or 4 rows down and cleaning those, the top is already drying. I even take pictures of this. And people will say, well, what's this line right here? This is your solar panels actually drying like they should be. So they're working the way they should. Okay, and we'll go to the inverter, check out the inverter. We'll look at it, and sure enough, it's producing a lot more than what it was. Because one of the things that we do is we go to the inverter first to make sure everything is good, everything is working, and seeing the production on it. And as the production is at a certain point, after we clean them, we can come back down, take a look at it, and all of a sudden, those numbers are bigger because the production is more and more and more. That's what you guys should be doing. You guys should be practicing that, making sure that you're out there and checking that for your customer to make sure that these solar panels are even activated or should be working. We had one customer recently, within I think a week and a half ago.
Mm-hmm.
Remember her in Claremont?
Mm-hmm.
And what did she say? She said something like, "Oh my."
Oh, she said they weren't working, but and then
Oh, she had a yellow light.
and then
on her. Yeah.
a few hours later, after we left, they stopped working again. So
No, they didn't stop working.
no, they did. They did. They stopped working again. She called me and think she got another error again.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let me finish the story. So, and that's not our problem, right? We go out there and we clean them. So I said, I'll go take a look at it for you. So I went ahead, I reset the inverter. The inverter turned, the light went from yellow to green. So it started producing, started working. I'm not saying it's producing. I'm saying that it was went through its test, everything checked out. Now, whether she's always had an issue with her panels, and she's been back and forth with the electric company. She's been back and forth with the solar company. The solar company went out of business. They went bankrupt, and so did we recommend her?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we recommended her to a person that we basically go out there and they take care of all the maintenance and check it out. And so she's got obviously an appointment,
Mm-hmm.
and she's going to get her stuff worked. You didn't tell me that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
They went out.
She
Okay.
had called again.
Okay, well, awesome.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just some of the things that you have to really, really look out for, because customers really don't know. There's a lot of customers out there that just they don't know. I mean, they're just the installers won't tell them. They won't tell them that they do need maintenance or they had to be clean, and they're really surprised after we go out there and we get them clean and they're done. And this is why we get repeat customers, because we do such a great job that we go out there and make sure we take each and every customer like if it was our own. Like if it was my own house and what have you, clean my own panels, I'm going to make sure that these things are brand new or close to it, so. But we came back to, we were talking about prices for summertime and what have you. I highly suggest that you guys start charging what you're worth. And I cannot tell you and stress enough to you guys, if you don't charge what you're worth, you will be out of business. You won't last in this industry. I have seen a lot of people that have given up, that have sold their equipment, sold their stuff because their expectations were a lot greater, because they're watching these videos of this guy over here with a water hose spraying it down and with a soap and bucket, and they're out there going, "Oh, do you want to know how to make $10,000 in a week?" Those videos. And you just have to really do your homework when you're getting into a business like this. Here in California, just the insurance alone, you won't find companies out here that are willing to insure you. And this is what a lot of the new people are dealing with right now.
Insurance companies getting prices for insurance has been high. And I know that because my friend who is a licensed broker does that for a living. So he finds
Here in California.
here in actually no, not just in California.
Oh my! I mean, he's all over, but he's here in California.
California. Okay. And so he tells me that he tries to find the best quote for everybody, and they're high everywhere. And so expect that when you're calling around to get quotes for insurance. Because it is pretty high.
If you want to do solar panel cleaning for commercial, you better have your stuff together, because the prerequisites now are getting tougher and tougher for a lot of companies out there. I mean, we just got done putting in a bid for a company that we actually cleaned solar panels for. We had to send everything back in, and just the stuff that was new, that in order for us to do work, was ridiculous, which is great, because companies like ours, we already know what we're doing. We already know how we're bidding. We bid high, and believe it or not, most companies, if you bid too low, they're going to ask, what's wrong with this company? Why are they bidding so low? That's not within our, and these companies have money. A lot of companies are Fortune 500 companies. They have the money, they have the budget to go out there and clean these panels. And we price accordingly to what we're used to. And believe me, we make quite a bit of money on commercial, and because of what we charge.
But if you're getting into the business, get your feet wet with residential.
Well, how would you do it first? If you were to be talking to these new people that are in here, what would you say to them from the experience of what getting into this industry?
I say, get yourself into residential first, just to get an idea of
start small.
Yeah, claiming the solar panels, making yourself well known out there, building up your clientele.
That's
before you get into commercial, because commercial is a whole different ballgame that you are not prepared for.
Not prepared for at all.
Because it could be a headache sometimes.
Mm-hmm. A lot of times.
And that's just before doing the actual work.
And a lot of times you don't get paid right away. You get paid 60 days or 90 days after you are done. And you better be able to pay your employees. You better be able to pay your insurance. You better be able to pay for your gas and everything else if you're going to be taking on these jobs. I know people who have taken on commercial jobs, didn't charge enough, and regretted it later. These are experienced guys that have been in the industry for a while and have hired other guys to go out there and help them out. It happens. And so even experienced guys are learning. It's a learning process. This is a new industry. There's a lot of solar panel cleaners coming on board. Trust me when I tell you that. There's over 200 just in our area now. Used to be 100. Now, within the year, it's 200 that are competing against us. And so, luckily, we have lots of clients. And the way that customers are thinking now is solar panel cleaners are considered like, I don't know, a person that may cut your grass. And a person comes up and says, hey, can I cut your grass for X amount of dollars? And they put you in that same category, and they wheel and deal with you. they negotiate. It's one of our one of the things that we don't you know what, we sit there and we go, no, we're we're not going to be a company that's going to sit here and negotiate our prices when our prices are set. And every single one of you guys should be thinking the exact same way. Because if you don't, you say, oh, I'll do it for this or I'll do it for that. Guess what? You will be out of business.
Let's say you have a customer, you're new. You tell them, oh, I could do it for 50. Okay. If you tell them you're going to do it for $50, guess what? 6 months later down the road, you're gonna tell them, hey, you're due for another cleaning. Okay.
Last time
you could tell them, okay, the price went up $100. It's $100 now.
Yeah.
That's for example.
We'll use an example.
And then they're gonna say, well, last time I paid $50. Can I get the same price? And that's where you're gonna put yourself in a situation where you're gonna have to bite the bullet and do it for $50, or you could tell them, you know what, I'm sorry, my prices went up. This is what I charge. Either take it or leave it. And that's going to be up to you if you want to continue with them, or you say, you know what, go find another company that will do it for $50 because I'm not that company anymore.
Right. And we're not afraid to say that, guys. We are not afraid to say, well, just go to our competition, go get because I already know I'm not going to be cleaning 60 panels for $100. That's not me. Even though I have the equipment to do it and I can do it fairly quickly, there's guys out here that don't have the equipment. They're cleaning 60 panels for $100, and they're up there for 2 hours, 2.5 hours. By the time they get there, they set up, they clean, and hopefully it's a cool day. Because if it's a hot day, forget it. That's when they go, you know what? Oh, I should have charged. And customers are real quick to jump all over that.
Mm-hmm.
But what kind of workmanship is happening for that price? Rick used to always say, when he was with me, Rick would always say, hey, you tell the customer, whenever they wanted to go cheap, he would say, if you owned a Lamborghini, would you hire a guy for $20 to wax that Lamborghini for you? There's your answer. Without them even saying anything, there's your answer. And he made a good point, and that's why we say you get what you pay for. And that's both ways. That's whether you're a solar panel cleaner just getting into this industry, you better ask a lot of questions. You better check out. There's groups out there on Facebook that people are going to, and I see it all the time, guys. I see these questions and I see these comments. Oh, I did 500 panels and I charged the guy $200 for commercial ground mounts. I go, are you kidding me? And I sit there and I go, we charge 5 times, 6 times more than what you did. And the customer agreed to that. Or the corporation agreed to that. And they're like, oh, it was exhausting. It was this. And I only had this equipment. They didn't even have the right equipment. But they're boasting that they made a couple $100. And I sit there and I go, wow. It's sad. It really is sad because they're in an industry that is going to be a $1 billion industry. Mark my words when I tell you this. There are lots of people getting into solar panel cleaning. And yes, it's going to work for some people. Maybe some people don't have the competition like we have. Okay? If I was to go move in the Midwest somewhere where there was nobody, I would make a killing there too. Okay? But if I'm in a saturated area like Northern California, Southern California, Florida, Texas, those places are those places are going to um, be a little bit more forgiving than the saturated areas.
Martin Castro says solar panel cleaning is a great industry, but it's not for everybody. It's a physical job and it requires you to be on rooftop. So you're afraid of heights.
Find a job that, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great point that fits you. Yes. You know, I've been climbing roofs for a long time. Um, Rick and I started out with 28 years ago. We were climbing roofs. We were out there climbing poles. So we're physically, we were physically fit, you know, back then. I'm slowing down. I'm almost 60 years old, you know. So, and I still get up on the roof, but I have my limitations. And she makes sure that I don't get overbooked, overheated, what have you. And, you know, we always talk about, you know, making sure there's two people up on the roofs, making sure there's somebody always watching you, because it's so true, especially during the summertime. People are going to go out there and they're just going to collapse because they didn't drink enough water. They're dehydrated. They pass out. And if you're by yourself because you didn't want to pay somebody else to go out there and be with you or help you out, then anything can happen. You can have a heart attack on that roof, and nobody would know other than the customer going, "What's taking this guy so long?" And before you know it, you're dead up on the roof all by yourself. And all that could have been avoided. Or you're out there and you're, you know, doing rain gutters and slip and fall because you're like right at the edge of that roof on all spots. And I'm telling you, I don't do rain gutters for a reason. I know the dangers of it. I know people have fallen and being safe. Ladder sliding, I know it all. So, and I've seen it. So, as part of our business, we don't do rain gutters. It's one of the things I don't do. You can call another company for that if they want to go out there and do that. And believe me, there's equipment now that you don't even have to get up on the roof to clean rain gutters. You can do it from the ground, you know, and there's equipment for that. There's a company out in Australia that he shows his videos on YouTube, and goes out there and he's got this long extension and clean rain gutters and makes it look so easy. All these leaves coming out and what have you. And there's guys that I've seen on videos that I'm just shaking my head going, "Oh my God, this guy's going to fall and kill himself. One of these days, he's going to kill himself because of where he's standing, what he's doing, what he doesn't have on, and what have you." And he's showing that on videos.
David 24/7 says, "Hi y'all. Hey Henry, with my C Tech 1000, it can be troubling to get those yellow pollen spots off the panels. Any recommendations?"
Yeah. Pollen spots are going to be hard for any brush out there. There's Chemitech solution that you can use. That Chemitech solution, I can't remember what is it. The solar wash might be the solar wash. Chemitech.
Yeah.
Try that. Spray that on there first. Let it soak, and a lot of times that will come out fairly easy. If your brush is spinning too fast, slow it down. That will clean it even better. I've seen guys out here with the C1000, their brush is spinning way, way too fast, and that's part of the problem. So slow that brush down to where it really gets there and it gets to cleaning and what have you. Try that, David, and hopefully that works for you. But I have used Chemitech. I've used the solutions for that. We've used solutions to get paint off, and then also the bakery that we did was all full of white powder.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was bad. And we use a Chemitech solution. Oh my God, that cleaned us up so nice.
Yeah.
So nice. Yeah.
He said, thank you.
Thank you. No problem.
But yeah, really charge what you're worth, because don't charge so low, because it's not worth going up on the roof for that little.
Look, we like going to our bank account and depositing thousands of dollars a day. That's what we like to do. Susan, that's what she does. She goes to the bank and she makes the deposits, and it's always a good day when we're making deposits. It's not a good day when we're sitting at home and not doing anything. That's not a good day. But the way things are going now, the way the weather is and everything else, we're getting busier earlier. So in the summer months, sometimes we can be booked out 3 weeks, 4 weeks in advance. And we know customers are not going to wait 3 weeks or 4 weeks, and they're going to call somebody else. And we may lose a customer. But if you charge what you're worth and you go out there and you deposit quite a bit of money into your account, you will be happy in December and January because you have funds still left over for summertime. It's these guys out here that are going to do it for peanuts. They're going to be looking for work during those months, and they're going to wish that they have charged what they were worth. And when I say charge what you're worth, it's totally up to you what you want to charge. There's guys out here undercutting us big time. We don't care about them. Let them do what they're going to do. That's fine. But us as a company, we are growing every single year. Every year, our company makes more money, and more money. And before we know it, we're good. And this is all that we're trying to tell you. Whether you're new in the industry, just think about it. Because I'm not telling you this just to harp on people that are charging $50, $25 to go clean solar panels. I'm not. I'm telling you because we've been in this industry for a long time, close to 6 years now. And I'm telling you right now, what works is charging what you're worth. And if you're just starting out and you think that, oh, I'm just going to go out there and charge peanuts, you're going to be like the rest of them, standing on the unemployment line or looking for other work somewhere else, because financially you will not be able to withstand the economy. The way things are going now with the economy and the way things are going to go, and they're going to go higher and higher and higher with everything going on. Trust me when I tell you this. You better be charging more, because you will be paying a lot more for everything that you are buying. Gas, insurance, vehicles, eating expenses, you name it.
We've seen it.
We've seen it
on the weekends. We've seen it when we
Oh
go
my
out to
goodness.
eat and all that. We've seen the prices go up.
And they've gone up. We were having a conversation. We had dinner the other night, and oh no, it was yesterday. And we paid $35 for a nice dinner for both of us. Plus, we tipped them.
And the tax went up too, so don't forget the tax went up.
The tax went up and everything. But we go to another location, and we pay for the same meal. We pay over $50. Easy.
At a different place.
At a different place.
Same type of food, but different place.
But we see, prices going up.
Even clothes. I've seen clothes prices go up.
Everything is going to go up. You want to read some of these comments?
G said, starting out until I can afford the proper rig. Can I run water-fed pole through the DI tanks using only the hose pressure?
Oh, house pressure.
House pressure. Can I get DI water on roof through water-fed pole without pressure washer?
Yes, you can. So there's a lot of guys out there. If you go on Facebook, you'll see a lot of these groups out there on Facebook, and a lot of them have the water-fed poles. They have the 3-stage system, 4-stage system from window cleaners or another company. Um, they buy those, then they'll get a pump, and they'll get that pump and put it to their 3-stage system, 4-stage system. They'll hook up to the customer's tap, use their water, and just feed it directly to the hose, and they're up there for hours. Sometimes a little less. Who knows? Uh, Put it this way: with my equipment, I can clean 60 panels in about 15 minutes. 60 panels with a water fed pole, setting up and getting everything done is clearly over an hour, easy. And a lot of you guys who have this equipment know exactly what I'm talking about.
Mhm.
So if you're going to go out there and you're going to get set up and you have that equipment that's going to take you an hour and a half, guess what? If you charge $100 and you did it and it takes you an hour, just say an hour. I literally can have that done in 15 minutes. I will make $100 in 15 minutes. You will make it in an hour or however long it takes you to do that. We're not knocking anybody. We're not telling them, just because you have this equipment or this equipment. No, we're not saying that. All we're saying is that with your equipment, you got to know what you have to charge. As a matter of fact, I even tell guys who have that equipment to charge more because you're going to be up there a lot longer.
He says, "Can I run a rotary brush with only house pressure?"
Nope. No. A rotary brush, you're talking about the C1000, you're talking about a Racenstein brush, you're talking about Karcher, the ones that spin around, or the twins that we used to have, is high pressure. So, give you an example. I don't know what Racenstein, what their pressure is, but I know for my C1000, I run it around 2000 psi to spin the brush, but less than 5 psi is coming out of the brush. Okay, if that makes sense. But you need that to spin the brush, whether it's a Karcher, whether it's a Racenstein, whether it's the C1000, the twins, what have you. So,
Dowd Solar Netting and Clean says, "Hi, Henry and Susan. Hope all is well." Down at Solar Netting and Clean says, "Agreed. I've seen all the new companies in my area that charged peanuts last year already out of business."
yeah, out of business. And that's not just me saying it. So it's funny because I get so much backlash by telling the truth. We get so much backlash from other people because we speak negatively, or I do. I'm not speaking negatively. I'm just telling you from my past experience. All I'm trying to do is help you guys. Do yourself a favor. Listen to me. I've been there. I've done that. Rick and I have done that. Susan and I have done that. We've done that. We've seen it. And all we're trying to do is help you guys out as far as solar panel cleaners and customers. We're talking to both of you. We're talking to customers and saying, don't be so damn cheap. You went out there and invested $20, $30, $40,000 on equipment, and you get a guy out there to do it for $50 that's going to scratch your glass and do damage or what have you because he's using the wrong equipment. There's guys out here that buy stuff from Home Depot, buy a broom, they put a little sprayer on it, and they scratch the hell out of your glass, and they go, oh, wow, they're clean. Well, of course. Wait till they dry and you see the damage that's done. The customers don't see that. So as a customer, that's something that you really need to think about. You really need to think about what type of equipment do these people have? What are they going to be used? We sit there and we explain what we have. We said we have the best on the market. We have a brush came from Germany. Germany is 15 years ahead of us when it comes to solar. 15 years. So their equipment is so far advanced, and all we're doing is trying to catch up. That's all we're doing. And believe me, I was overseas for 3 months. I've seen the equipment. I've been there. I've done that. And I, as soon as I got back, I started this industry. I started solar panel cleaning. I was the only guy out here that, other than two other people, that were window cleaners, and Rick and I were booked in the first week and a half, 2 weeks that we put ourselves out there on Google. We were booked, and I tell this story all the time. And we've made lots of money. And it's not about the money. It's about educating. It's about experience. That's what it's about. This is why our videos are get more views and more views, because people watch us, because we talk about a lot of things. Sometimes we talk about the same things, but sometimes you need to talk about it over and over and over again to get it through your head.
Dow Solar Netting says had 3 people this month already calling and saying they can't get a hold of their solar cleaner from last year.
Right. That's not unusual. I mean, that's I knew that from November, guys, when it slows down. They go out of business, they sell their equipment. Look on Facebook, look at the marketplace. Look at how many people are selling their equipment. Okay? This industry is a cutthroat industry. Okay, it's everybody for themselves. I don't care what anybody tells you. Yes, we do work with other people. Yes, we do collaborate. We don't work by ourselves. We collaborate with other people. We got people that need their windows cleaned. We don't clean windows for residential. Guess what we do? We give it to other people. Right? Mm-hmm. Anybody who needs solar panels, we give it to other people. Anybody who needs solar panels taken off their roof, we give it to other people.
Gutter cleaning, we give it to other people.
Gutter cleaning, we give it to other people, because we can only do so much. I only want to do so much for my business, and it works for us. It works. It works for me. It works for her. It worked for Rick. It worked for this company.
I've even had customers that have said they're looking for a new landscaper. I got a person for that too.
Yeah. And you know, we go out there and we collaborate with a lot of people. If a job is too big, we'll hire other people to come help us out. And we pay them out of our pocket. We pay them out of our pocket before we get paid.
It's not fun waiting to get paid from a commercial.
Well, that's where commercial comes in, and we talked about, if you're going to get your feet wet, you're going to be new in this business, start small. One of the worst things to do, I think personally, if I was to say solar panel cleaning, one of the worst is ground mounts, because you can't charge a whole lot for ground mounts. There's too many people out there doing it for 25 cents, 50 cents per panel. 75 cents per panel, under $1 per panel. These guys are doing it. And if you have 500 solar panels that need to be cleaned on a ground mount and they have no water, well, guess what? You got to get water there. That comes out. That's more expensive. You're going to be out there cleaning them. And if they don't rotate, you're screwed. So when it comes down to that, I think ground mounts is one of the worst things out there. It's probably the easiest, but it's probably one of the ones that you don't get paid as much. Carports, man.
Pain
in the, you know what? And you better have good equipment for that. There's guys out here that have robots that are doing them. With brushes.
Even in the summertime, carports are a pain.
Mm-hmm. They are. And rooftops, the same thing. Mm-hmm. Rooftops, you got a white rooftop, and man,
it gets hot. And it blinds you.
The heat is intense, and if you're working in 110-degree weather, forget it. You are going to be burnt out within the first hour.
And the glare from the white roof, glass.
Put it this way, I would turn black again. Because I will be suntan all over during the summertime if I was to work on a white roof.
Blazing hitting too hard says, "What's up, Henry?"
Oh, what's up there, Blazing? Hitting too hard. Haven't seen you in a long time. Welcome back. Thank you very much for joining us. G says, love y'all's wisdom. Thank you, Henry. Thank you, Henry and Susan. Yes, because she is a part of this company.
It's already 6:14.
All right. Had 3 people. Okay, so we answered all the questions pretty much, guys. Guys, it is over an hour already. Thank you guys coming on. I'm sorry we could not be on tomorrow. We have a lot of stuff going on tomorrow, a lot of work, and we know we're not going to be back in time. So we figured we'd do it today. It's not normally something that we do on Mondays, but we already know our schedules, and we got to leave early and get home late. So thank you guys.
What do you use if panel is caked with bird poop?
Oh,
the C1000 takes it right off.
Yeah. Question: what do you use? Is the panels that was Blaze hitting it too hard? We use the C1000 and with deionized water, and it takes all the bird poop off. There's guys out here that say that the C1000 doesn't take it off. They're full of it. They don't know how to use that. And you have a Solitech brush. If you're using the Solitech brush, are you using the C1000 or the Solitech brush? That's the question. Because the Solitech brush has 500 PSI coming out of that brush. And it's hitting directly. So that spray should be taking that off. If it isn't and it's really, really caked on because you're scrubbing it, that's one thing that you're doing is you're out there and you're scrubbing that panel, I would pre-soak it. Get some Chemitech solution. The Chemitech solution, get the solar wash.
The
lichen remover.
The lichen remover is the one used.
The lichen remover is what we use, and that takes everything off. I mean, that is awesome. And I think somebody was talking about pollen and stuff.
The lichen.
Use a lichen remover. Just spray it on real quick. Let it set for about 2 minutes. And then go out there and scrub it, and you'll be surprised. And you're going to go, oh, Henry, it worked. Susan, it worked. Oh, this is awesome. Try that, and you'll be good. All right, guys. Thanks for the questions, man. We really appreciate it. Thanks you guys coming on. Please smash that like button, guys. Smash the like button. That helps us out with our videos and so forth. Is there anything that you want to say before we go?
No, just enjoy the rest of your week. Enjoy the weekend with your families, and
yes,
enjoy spring break if your kids are on spring break.
Enjoy that too. So guys, thank you very much for coming on. Don't forget to smash that like button, and also if you're not subscribed to our YouTube channel, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Hit that notification bell. That will let you know when we come on, and then maybe you can join us, on chat and what have you. And we try to talk to everybody we can. Okay. All right, guys. Thank you. Have a good week, and we will catch you guys on the next video. See you guys. Peace.